Let's start with one of the queen trad wives herself, Nara Smith.
People don't like her. Her name is Nara Smith, and there is like a lot.
I personally have no issue with Nara, and what I find really weird,
she gets hate because of her cooking video.
That's another thing when people hear that I have 3 kids at 23 and I had my first at a few weeks after I turned 19, they always freak out and they tell me, why aren't you in the clubs? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And I feel like they're projecting how they want their life to be onto me. That's one thing I really struggled with.
Born on the 27th of September 2001, Nara Smith was born in Bloemfontein, South Africa, to a Mosotho mother and a German father. When she was an infant, the family moved to Frankfurt, Germany, where she spent the remainder of her childhood. The 23-year-old is famous for putting out content that depicts her cooking elaborate meals for her family from scratch while wearing fancy clothing. Nara is married to 27-year-old American model, influencer, actor and musician Lucky Blue Smith. When they got married, she was 18 and Lucky was 22 years old. Nara currently has 3 children, and in June 2025 she announced the pregnancy of their 4th child. Her children have pretty unique names.
I'm currently 6 months pregnant with our 4th. For reference, our kids all have pretty unique names. My oldest daughter, her name's Rumble Honey. Then we have my boy Slim Easy, and we just had a baby about a year-ish ago. Her name's Whimsy Lou.
He sent me a DM, we DM'd for a little bit, and then we exchanged phone numbers, and he was the crappiest texter. Like, he was so bad at texting to the point where I just wanted to be done. I'm like, I don't even care about talking to this guy anymore. And then one day he said, I'm going on a camping trip. I won't have service, but when I'm back, I would love to just hop on a phone call. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Because I would prefer a phone call anyways. I'm not a great texter, but I kind of thought that he was just saying that. But then he got back from his camping trip and he actually called me, and we were on the phone for 7 hours straight on that phone call. And I don't know what happened after that phone call, but it just felt like I couldn't be without him anymore. So from that day on, we were on the phone every single day. And when we weren't talking, we were just sleeping on the phone. Like, the phone would be next to me and I'd just be sleeping, because we also had a time difference where I lived in Germany and he lived in LA. So it was a little bit of a struggle, but we still made it work every single day. And then 2 weeks after that initial phone call, I told him I'd be in Milan because I was walking a fashion show. And he was like, me too, what fashion show? And it ended up being the same one that I was walking that he was attending. So that was the first time we met in person. And then that same day, he asked me to be his girlfriend. He met my parents for the first time, asked my dad to marry me when he met him the first time. Then I flew to LA, met his parents. 2 days later, we were engaged. 2 months after that, I believe we were married. So It was so crazy, so quick, but so great. And now here we are 5 years later.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that just became like a fun outlet for me. I'm like, if I'm not going to leave the house in these outfits, I will wear them in my kitchen. I'm just having fun expressing myself. And if people want to tune in, it's great. One piece of advice actually that I do have for people is doing things because you love them, not because they'll perform well. I think that there's like a rule that you can make with yourself of like filming content that you know is going to perform well and sprinkling that in because you want to keep your engagement up. You want to like do that, but then also not getting lost in that and being like, well, I hate doing X, Y, and Z, but I know it's going to get my views up, and then losing yourself in that and then losing the passion and love that you have for creating content. And then essentially you're putting yourself in this box. You're locking yourself in this box because you think that other people want you to just stay in there. But it's actually just you doing that instead of you being like, okay, I'll post content that's going to perform really well and that I know people will love, but also I love filming, I don't know, cleaning. So I'm going to post that as well, even though it doesn't perform as well, it fills up my cup. So I think finding the balance of posting good performing content and content that you love. And then essentially the content that you love to create is the content that's going to go viral at the end of the day.